Okay, can we talk about my favorite show now? Can we go to my happy place?
Yes.
Let's talk about the Golden Bachelor.
Okay, but only if you start off with those magical words that I need to hear. Oh, you
It's
were
showtime.
right. I might be over my skis. I don't know. I think Pascal is going to break up with Joan. Yeah.
You were right. You were totally right. Totally right.
Not totally.
No. You nailed it. And that was skill. And that's a dedication to your craft. Do you think that Pascal, who departed the show on his own volition, do you think he's going to look back a year from now and be like, fuck, I messed up? Because I have been in that situation with many men. And I'm not saying that to brag. It's a real bummer at the time because you're just like, no, I know we have something dope and I know you really like me. And then literally like 6 months to a year passes and they come back and they're like, oops, I made a mistake. Like, do you think that's going to be Pascal?
I don't. And the reason why is because I have a squint eye at every fucking contestant that comes on this show in some fashion. At some point,
Yeah.
I'm looking at them that way. If they become any kind of a contender at all, like I have a tendency to start there as opposed to assuming it's from a good place.
Yep.
Pascal might be the most honest contestant I've ever seen on this show.
So honest. So honest.
When he said, I'm damaged goods, I've heard people say that and clearly known that's an excuse because I've said that because I didn't want to be with someone. And I've been like, oh, you're great, but my divorce was horrible and I just still, whatever. Like it was, but like it's only the right person. That guy is fucking non-existent. I don't even remember this guy. He couldn't have never existed, my life's never been better.
Yeah.
So I know that game. I truly think that Pascal really is damaged. I think he knows himself better than anyone on this earth does. You know how I said I see his type being this totally different woman, like a Carolyn Bessette Kennedy.
Yeah.
What I should have said is if a Carolyn Bessette Kennedy type, but that's like from Slovenia.
Oh, you think he only has eyes for an Eastern European woman?
The fire of an Eastern European.
Okay.
Love Joan. Great American.
Stellar American.
Reliable, dependable,
blonde
herself,
hair, blue
all
eyes,
the things.
very
yes,
apple pie.
All the things, the American dream for a wife. I think that Pascal has gotten to where he is due to struggle and due to challenge and due to chasing something. Joan was basically offering herself up as a trophy wife on a platter, and he needs someone to keep him reaching for the next thing. And it's not good. I'm not saying that this other girl that I've decided that is his like person.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's a healthy thing, but I think that Pascal is damaged. And so things that spur one person to get up and get the next thing every day is different than the next guy's. Pascal needs something at a level that could be unhealthy, but fire's fire. And he called it out. I just don't have
Okay,
this
but I have a question. I have a question for you. Because I actually I'm with you on pretty much all of it. I think that's pretty spot on. He said something to her that it's like when we were talking in the Love is Blind breakdown. And I was like, you can, of course, break up with someone without demolishing who they are as a human being. Being like, you're too much. If I spent the rest of my life with you, I'd be exhausted every goddamn day. I feel like you can put a kernel of what actually is going on so that if the person wants to mine for information, if they're in therapy and want to be like, well, if they did say this, what do we think that means? Or what can I learn from this? I think his kernel of truth is he said, I know what true love feels like. And I don't think we have that spark.
Yeah.
So that's where my question lies for you, because I feel like, yes, what you're saying is correct. But I also think that they just didn't have that spark there. And it's not because she's not Mina from the Ukraine. Yes, could he
I just meant that those kind of women all seem to have it, like
Yes,
like you can rely on it from that.
Yes, no, I totally know what you mean. Or even a spicy Italian lady.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
I think he likes
a Sophia. Me, yes, no, I get what you're saying. I just think that this is what I think is happening here. I think what you're saying is right, where like he has a proclivity for liking. He leans towards the spicier sausage.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's also something to be said for chemistry. So like, I remember there was this guy a million years ago who had a crush on me, and I was like, you are not my type. And then he kissed me, and all of a sudden I was like, you're cute. I like you. What are you doing tomorrow? And I feel like Pascal, because he does bring like that kind of sexy vibe, like,
Yeah.
he wants to get down. I think even if she didn't have all of the stuff that he was normally into, but they had the chemistry,
Yeah.
I think they would have been okay. I really think. So I guess I answered the question for you.
Yeah, but I think his chemistry, a lot of it has to do with that element. Like it's like chemistry. I mean, it's a million different things. His just relies so much more on, I think, almost problematic maybe in a way. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. I think it's a mix of both of the things. I think he's attracted to what he's attracted to because of his upbringing, his whatever, right? All of that stuff. But then I also think that he is a man that understands, holy shit, you just turned my screw.
Right,
that was
right.
really a great kiss. Whatever. And I think that they didn't have that. I think it was totally fine. Have you ever like gone on a date with someone and you guys have kissed and it's totally fine? It's not good.
No. No, she hasn't.
It's not good. It's not bad. It's totally fine. Like there wasn't excess slobber. They weren't teethy.
Yeah.
They weren't cheap with the tongue. It was totally fine. But there is zero chemistry. It's like you throw a rubber ball against a wall and it just slides down because there is no ball bounce chemistry there. I think that was probably their kiss. I think it was totally fine. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He's not going back to Chicago being like, Johnny does not know how to kiss, do you know? It's just like, it's just whatevs.
You know when he's like talking to the guy in French and going, oh, it's a coca blah blah, like, and he just like, if she would have done something like that, I think he would have been like, what? Joan is a great wife. Joan is following your lead. And she's gonna
take the sip of the Chardonnay.
That's her. That's her
why Chalk's
sassy.
her guy.
Totally.
Because Chalk just wants a few glasses of Chardonnay before he gets up to Magic Mike it.
Right. But I now have to say, I think she was gonna pick Pascal.
I think it was between Chalk and Pascal.
Of course, totally. Definitely between the two of them.
Yeah.
But I think she was vibing so hard on him and really put herself in that life for a minute and was like, I could get used to this.
Yes.
And probably the fact that she always knew that he had one foot out, because she's mentioned it a handful of times. Like, I don't even know I feel like he's the only guy that I like more than he likes me.
Yeah.
Even if it would have been the wrong decision,
I
we're all
know what you're
human
saying.
and we all can make a stupid fucking decision. And what sucks, because I don't think Joan at all is like a money grubber.
No, I don't
not
think
at all.
a gold digger.
But when he said, why am I here? She literally gave the worst reason ever by saying, well, and this isn't like you can excuse this because I understood where she was coming from.
Yeah.
When she's like, she's like, I don't want to say this, but like you remind me a lot of my late husband. Everything is big. You do things big. Nothing is impossible. If you want to do something, you do it. And he's like, okay. And she's like the vacations you take, the nice car that you drive. He's done a lot more fucking cool shit than that, Joan.
But didn't she say after that, like, not that it's all about that?
I don't even know if she did. Did she?
I don't know, but I definitely think she scared him off with all of that. I think that she was... I don't know what Joan does. I don't know what she does for a job, if she has a job or what kind of money she has. And she doesn't give money grubber, gold digger vibes.
At all.
But I think he's worked so hard and obviously has had something go on in his childhood that was pretty traumatic, but has, like you said, he's foreign. So like they work harder. They have bigger desires to make it here. They're just raised different. And so I think he probably got a little... He probably gets gold diggers, real true gold diggers all the time. He's handsome. He's got a business and
he likes to fly. He likes to take every lady out.
Yeah.
Like I bet he goes on many dates with the hottest women in Chicago.
Then once he finds out that they only want him because of all the shit that he has, he's probably so turned off by that. It's such an American thing, and he's French, so he's probably like, well, fucking greedy American. You know, like there's probably that. I think that probably scared him off a little bit.
He was out earlier than that she didn't need to say any of that stuff for him to bail. When the nail in the coffin for their relationship was when they did that ceremony. He was totally fine at the fruit buffet, speaking French to the
Yeah.
Polynesian man.
Yeah.
Okay. That's where he wanted it to keep it light and bright. And then they were like, now let's do a faux wedding ceremony. And he realized in that moment, I got to hightail it out of Maria.
And the show totally set that up
Of
to get
course.
him out because they were like, we don't want her picking. We do not want America's sweetheart getting.
But by the
Like
way,
they
if-
don't want any of their bachelors getting dumped. This woman especially, like
Yeah.
they're holding her on high, and as they should.
As
you know?
they should.
Yeah.
Because if he's not there to really like
Yeah.
go to the end, then he shouldn't. But I also think, unfortunately, even though I would love to see him as the Golden Bachelor, because I think he's such good TV, I think he's smart and honest, and I just think he's cool. I just like Pascal.
You can't. He broke
can't.
her heart.
He's like a Maria.
And
Like
he's-
it's not gonna work. They're
Well,
too
they said
real.
that Maria said they offered it to her and she passed.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, like okay.
for even though I know they offered it to her and she passed, they won't ask him. They're the same breed,
Right,
Like they're
right.
too real. They're
Yeah.
they're a little too black sheep for that traditional
Yeah.
of a model of like a
Yeah.
dating show.
The only way that they will consider it is if, first of all, he would have to call them and make a hard play and say, I was totally like, be a very convincing. If this is what he wants, I don't think Pascal even gives a shit about being the
No.
Golden Bachelor.
He's the
got
Golden
a
Bachelor in his life,
exactly,
his normal
exactly.
life.
Because I was thinking about this exact thing. Like, it's like what I said about Mark. That I am like, you don't send Mark off with the "you're not ready" thing, and also show like the edit for what it, like I don't know if they edit it to show all of his bad sides or if he really was just that sort of like uncharismatic. No matter what he was for the rest of the season, that was our final out on him. That's what everyone's gonna remember is the awkward date and that he wanted he wanted someone else to say "I love you" first, and then her telling him "you're not ready" and him being like, like. That the show is a produced show. Like they know what they're sending their people out on. So that was a specific choice that they made. The only way that they could really go against what they've sort of set up for Pascal now is if literally every woman in America calls the hotline and is like, I love Pascal. It has to be Pascal. Like it would have to be like an overwhelming fanfare of
Like a woman's march, but just for Pascal to be the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what it would have to be. And I think that so many women, because I think this show, without the camaraderie aside, it could be kind of boring in just a general of like watching these two people. He would be exciting all the time. The women would be fucking fighting over him. They wouldn't be able to help themselves because he would have each of them thinking, you're special. And then they would be like, he's worth it. I'm going to town on this bitch. I'm going to rip that weave right out.
Okay, wait. Then just because we're here, who do you think they're going to pick to be the next Golden Bachelor?
I mean, maybe Jonathan, maybe Mark. I don't know if you've heard.
You yuck my yum every show, and I think you enjoy it.
No, Mark's getting late.
Who's Barbie Aline Woods?
She was on One Tree Hill. They're at a costume party together, and he's Prince Charming, and she's Snow White or Cinderella or
Cinderella.
I can't remember what
It's
she's
a
even
blue
wearing.
dress with a black choker.
Oh, okay.
It's classic Cinderella.
Okay. I knew she was one of them. One of those broads. You could go to a costume party with a friend.
Mattress.
I
Okay.
don't know if you dress up. Not only you have coinciding costumes, but like the happily ever after married couple.
So then maybe he's getting.
Maybe. So Kelsey might have had a little eek moment with the edit of how he went out.
Okay.
Oh my God, now everybody thinks my dad is so boring.
Okay. Wait, is this a
Let's-
conspiracy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me call my publicist and see like what can we do to he can't go out like that when he doesn't get offered the job because he had no charisma and everyone thinks, oh, I guess he was kind of a bust.
Yeah.
Is there any actors out there that need a little publicity too? Oh, I've actually got this other lady on my roster. Would they like to go to a thing together? And now he's not going to be the Golden Bachelor because
Is that the
of this.
only picture we've seen of him with her? Or like
It's the only one I've seen, but I literally found it an hour before you got here.
Got it. So there aren't like stories out everywhere that he's dating. It's just this one photo that we have.
I mean, it's been mentioned because that's what made me go look for the story.
Okay.
So
So then
I
Jonathan
heard it
is the
somewhere.
Golden Bachelor.
Maybe, or it could also be that he just needed a pick me up to be like, no, I am ready. I did. You saw that actress I was dating for a minute. I'm ready. I'm back. I'm back in the saddle, baby.
It's Jonathan or Mark. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
You don't sound confident.
Only because I have forgotten about everybody else that was on that show.
Well, that's exactly why it strengthens my case for Jonathan or Mark. I will say this.
Could be Jordan too, though.
I don't think so. Jordan doesn't have it. Jordan's cute. He's sweet. He's likable. He doesn't have it for the...
You saw it, didn't you?
He doesn't no, I didn't.
Because you'd have to watch him. You can't look at it in a photo because I've seen that they doctor the photos. You'll see one photo of him, like I'll do a screenshot of him like on the show, and then I'll look at like his photo and I'm like, oh, they photoshopped it. That's what you do for a headshot, though. You know, it's no shame. Like
all I'm saying is this, okay? If Chalk is winning, Chalk is winning.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't, he could be the Golden Bachelor. If Chalk doesn't win.
I don't know.
What?
People
don't like him.
I mean, I don't like him.
But what's the general consensus outside of you?
Okay, I don't know, but I have to imagine that his clinginess has gotten on a lot of people's. He's very possessive.
Maybe he just really likes her, Natalie.
There's just, okay, I don't know. My money is not on Chalk becoming the next Golden Bachelor.
Even if he doesn't win, you're saying
he's going to win. Like,
but if he doesn't.
Oh, if he doesn't.
You still don't
that
think
that could help him. If he doesn't win, now we feel sympathy for this guy.
This is what I'm saying.
So
if he doesn't
win, he has a shot. But if he has a shot. That only puts him though with the Jonathans of the world. Like it like they've all got a minus sign. Well, we don't know what Jonathan has. I just
I know this is a real conspiracy. You think Jonathan has some,
I don't know.
You want to talk to his
but
ex-wife.
I also it could also be what's his name? I know that you're not into Guy, but like Guy is they've showed him with shirtless a lot.
No, now that the restraining order is out, they're never going to make the Golden Bachelor someone who had a restraining order.
Dude, all that takes is ABC just combing it over a little bit. It really just takes one news cycle to kind of band-aid that. And America is very forgiving with that kind of shit. From men. They're very forgiving for men.
Yeah, I was just going to say, really?
Did you also know that Joan's husband, her late husband, he was getting sentenced when he died? And I was right. He's Greek. He is a foreign guy. So she likes them a little bit of pizzazz.
Jones?
When the networks decide to
What's name?
Vasos.
Oh, that is very Greek. Joan Vasos.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Amid legal troubles.
Wire fraud, mail fraud, one other fraud.
In February 2020, he entered a guilty plea to the charges he faced in June 2017. He was awaiting sentencing at the time. He died January 18th, 2021 after a 2-year battle with Wow, he battled pancreatic cancer for 2 years. That's no joke.
Yeah, for 2 years you lasted on that. Now I can see why she said, I really didn't think he was going to die. The day that she's like, we had an appointment the next day for him to get some other procedure done.
Yeah.
She said, the hospice lady was telling me, I think he's going to go soon. And she's like, okay. Did not believe it at all because she had the kind of husband that
kept coming back.
Well, that they conquer everything. I'm telling you, immigrants are everything. They really fucking know how to do it. They do not take no for an answer. They do not go politely. They don't let a little fucking wire fraud in the way.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
They're here to fucking do it.
Wait, John Vasos pled guilty to 3 charges. The charges included 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud, 1 count of tax fraud, and 1 count of mail fraud. John Vasos worked as a consultant for Sharp Business Systems, SBS, when the company bid on a contract for the Maryland Administrative Office of the Courts. The contract was for services to maintain copy machines through the Maryland court system. This is crazy.
Yeah. But she likes him spicy.
It just really... Oh, wow, here's a younger picture.
But he treated her like gold, gave her the best life, loved every piece of her, told her she was the greatest thing that ever happened every day. Some people just are like, no, this country is fucking full of crooks, and so I'm gonna get mine. I don't. The older I get, the more I'm like, good for you, man. I'm too bad you didn't get away with it.
You know what is
So,
interesting?
like, government money is such bullshit to me now that I'm like, take it where you got it, take it where you can get it.
But like, obviously, no one's perfect, right? So you
Yeah.
think back about the things that you've done in your life. You're like, I probably could have done better there. Probably shouldn't have done that. But like, never committed wire fraud bad.
But like, you can get mail fraud from something that like
Oh,
even give you
opening
the
up
right.
like someone else's mail.
So like.
But that's
Like
not
the
this.
charges, wire fraud seems very like you're on a computer hacking. Like it just sounds, it's very simple to do these things. Wire fraud could just be accepting money for a job you never did because the money was wired into your account afterwards. So it's just like, it's as simple, like it just makes it sounds so it's like so.
It's an aggressive term for something
Yeah.
that has many.
Yeah. And I'm not saying, like, I mean, he's busted. He broke the law.
Yeah,
like he
he pled
fully
guilty.
said, fuck the government. I'm going to try to
We're going rogue.
And he didn't get away with it.
Okay, well,
But I'm not even mad at him.
she likes bad boys. She
And
likes
he died
them
of
spicy.
pancreatic cancer. I think that we did
He
his
paid
worst
the
on it.
ultimate
Yeah, it's
price. Okay, so great. Then Pascal's out of it. He can't be the Golden Batch unless there's a woman's march for him. Guy and Chalk are who's left. We both feel Chalk is winning. Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
I will say,
don't?
you think she's picking Guy? What?
I do.
Tell us more.
Because maybe Chalk's too good to be true. He's got that vibe. And if she really wants someone to go on adventures with in the golden years of her life, that's Guy. He said it. He's like, I'm not obsessed with my work anymore. Kids are grown. I'm ready to fucking party.
Restraining orders up.
Straining orders up.
ABC's about to brush that right into the
Yeah,
fucking rug.
like-
Travel.
They're
I mean,
working on
you
it as
said
we
it.
speak.
She likes spicy dudes.
Yeah.
That's pretty spicy.
Put a
Does Pascal
Well, he
have
said
a
he
fucking
pointed under her
restraining
car
order?
and then but I don't know. I don't even know where I read that. But I sent it to you guys. It seemed legit, right?
I don't remember. All I'm saying, you're telling me that you genuinely think that she's going to pick Guy, or are you just doing that to be different? Because Natalie and I both think it's Chalk.
No, I have a tendency, like we watched The Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm like, oh, that's the dude you should pick. Oh, that's the girl you should pick. And if they never fucking pick the person they're supposed to pick, right? They always pick the idiot that they're not supposed to pick. Right now, Guy is the idiot that she's not supposed to pick. Chalk is the dude that's like,
She should pick.
she probably should pick Chalk and just relive the last, because like she is trophy wife. She's like, yeah, adventures, cool. Do you really? You're 100. How many adventures are you going to go on? Chalk provides her just that comfort back into the grind of being married, being a wife, having a husband, doing the thing.
But I
I'm
also,
also on the fence with Chalk. Is like, Chalk either is mega rich and has a fucking huge ranch,
that is
or
so
he
not what I thought you were going to say.
doesn't, has a huge dong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about that. Because like when they went home,
Great
they
legs.
had the thing at his buddy's ranch. So I was like, ooh, that sucks. You don't have any money. So
Yeah.
you had to go to your friend's ranch, right?
I was thinking that too.
But now they did the ATVs, and he's like, oh, yeah, no, we got 2 of these. They're super jacked up. So I know what he has, and I know how much they cost. You don't need 2 unless you got a fucking ranch and people to drive 2 of those things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, he might be so rich that he's like, I'm not going to fucking flaunt all this stuff. I'm going to go to my buddy's little ranch, and just threw us off for a loop. I'm on the fence. I don't know. So I just like, I think that Chalk is probably the person she should choose, and Guy is probably the person that she will choose, because if she says that she wants to do adventures, I have another take on the whole thing. I don't think Joan's ready for any of this.
Okay, Daddy.
And I think Joan needs to go take some me time, because she's not over her husband at all. Like, not even a little bit, which is fine. I mean, there's no way I would fucking, it would never happen. So like, and I'm not expecting it to. And she acknowledges that, like, there's always going to be a space in my life, in my heart. Of course, there should be. But you're not ready, man. Like, you're not ready to be in bed with another man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I the only person who thought that they boned?
Who?
Her and Chalk?
They didn't.
On the
They do
overnight?
that all the time. That silly little stuff. Like maybe they
I thought
did,
they
but
took
she
the beds
seemed,
out and
She seemed pretty adamant that like I'm not doing this with three
And
dudes.
then they were making out and she looked at the camera and she goes, okay, they can go now. And then the next morning they were like, so what'd you do? And he's like, I will never speak on it.
There was that little thing. That
I
he
think
was
it got
like,
away from them
"Meh,
and they boned.
I'll let her talk. Like I thought about it. Maybe they boned. If they did bone, it's 100% chalk, and it's been chalk for 6 fucking weeks.
Correct.
And there's
That's what I
never
think.
been another dude. It's always been chalk. Part of me thinks that too. Because
I think she liked some of the other
It was
guys.
his kids. She said something to his kids that was like, "What?" Like she was like, they were like, "Man, I hope you pick him." And she was like, "Yeah, I hope I'm here too again." Something weird.
No, I
to
remember
like,
what you're talking
she
about.
never said anything to the other
Correct.
kids, but his kids, she was like, "All right, see you next Sunday," type
Agreed.
of deal.
I-
I'm like,
And-
what
But here's the
fuck?
thing with Chalk and Joni. They are so similar, but in the best ways possible. And I think you kind of need some of that for a relationship where it's just like, yes, people can be different and exciting and you want to take big vacations and whatever. But at the end of the day, are you in alignment with how you want to live on a day-to-day basis? And I feel like her and Chalk probably already wake up around the same time. He is a physically fit dude. So like,
Yeah.
he's working out.
No, every time I
She's
see
working
Chalk,
out.
I notice something more about him. I'm like, you're in great shape.
He's in
like
great
when
shape.
just when he had the shorts on, I was
Well,
like,
if he
oh,
has
like
a
he's
ranch, if he works as a rancher,
well, he's not doesn't work as a rancher.
what is his job?
Insurance.
Oh, that's right.
Insurance sales. If you've been in it for a fucking like your whole adult life, you are rolling.
Yeah.
Sure, but what I mean is property takes work. A house takes work. A fucking property, a ranch, working or not, like that dude's doing stuff. It seems like Joan wants to travel and like she had the married life and was a wife and did all that. And now she's like, now I want to party a little. I want to travel. I want to experience my golden years. I don't want to just get back into that same routine. If she's serious about that, Guy is also serious about that.
Yeah, but she
Chalk
also
is not serious about it. Chalk's taking her back to the fucking wherever and plopping her in the kitchen and having grandbaby like that,
barefoot and pregnant.
in a
but
weird way.
Hold on. Hear me out about Chalk for a second and why I think they're well suited for one another.
That's
Okay.
only going to be 5 years until Chalk murders her. 'Cause
No.
she's a psycho.
No.
Chalk's the weirdo for sure, but
is a
that was,
weirdo.
he might be good for a year.
I'm just saying, you're not on vacation 12 months out of the year. And I just think that they have so much in common. I think when they get together, they could talk till the oxygen is no longer in the room.
Talk or not
Talk and
for
still find
hours.
things to talk or not talk about. That's how they are. They have very good physical chemistry. They're always making out. They're never at a lack for something to say, for a topic to fucking chew down on. And I just think that makes her feel like she's home and she feels seen by him. I just feel like that's who she's going to pick. It hit me again when I was watching the show when Chalk was going to spend the night with Joni. And he's like, oh my God, I haven't spent the night with a woman that I have felt like this about in so long. It just made me so goddamn happy because we lose something in between being a young kid and an older person. And when you're a young kid, when you're 12 years old, fuck even holding hands. Do you remember when you were little and like you would sit next to your crush and they would move their arm just close enough to touch your arm and you're like, oh my God, wait a second.
It's happening.
There's
It's
something
happening.
going
It's
on.
happening.
Like you don't even need to be holding hands. The fact that your flannel and their flannel, because we grew up in the 90s, still clearly our styles haven't evolved. Right? Like they're just touching. It could like make my head explode with how romantic and exciting and fun and cool that is. And I didn't take for granted any of those moments when I was a little kid. And then you get older and like you're going out on dates or like everyone wants to sleep with you and do whatever. And you're just like, but whatever, like you start to just get a little desensitized to these really sweet moments. And then when you get older and maybe you are in your like mid to late 60s and you're not meeting anyone, but you remember what it was like, all of a sudden you get that like 12-year-old sense of awe back where this is also exciting. And how lucky am I that I get to just like sit and spend time with this woman? Because she's like, I'm not stooping any of you people.
Yeah.
And whether she did or didn't, which I think she did stoop.
She hadn't gone out with Pascal yet. So she
I'm just
wasn't going to fuck that guy and then go on a date the next day. She's not that girl. And
Natalie?
and I also think that she, at this point, was, if
Can we not say fuck that guy when we're talking about grandmas?
I
I'm
said
trying
stoop.
I know you did. You said the right term. That's appropriate.
she's
term
not going to
use
go
for
and bone
grannies.
a guy before she is.
Even better. It's a grandma.
I'm fine with
Joan
it.
is
No,
Joan is down to
Joan
hell.
is
show
like
I don't like
hotter than
is
me. Like Joan is like,
not
Joan's
even
bod
close.
is
yeah.
banging. But also, Nat, in all seriousness, have you never gone, and Mike, close your ears. Have you never been on a date with someone, or maybe it was Mike, maybe that's how Mike got laid for the first time.
We did it on the first date.
Memories like the corners of my mind.
It was
But
like
I
our
don't ever do
second
it with
date of
anyone.
That day.
And
No,
then I
but
did-
hold on. Have you never
We
been
went
in a
to
situation?
breakfast was our first date.
It was the same day because we had a
That's
dinner
what I said.
date.
We had 2 dates in one day.
Okay,
So
irrelevant.
technically, we banged on our second
Irrelevant.
date.
What is that? Oh, objection, Your Honor. My point is, have you never been on like dating someone and you're like, no, we're not gonna have sex. Like, I really want to be thoughtful about this. Like, we're gonna wait, whatever. And then one thing leads to the next, and before you know it, you're stooping.
That's the thing. The one thing that I have absolute control over is sex because I have a big fucking ego. So if I knew Mike is in the palm of my hand. I knew. And so I was like, if I don't even really like you that much, definitely not. But if I do, I could really like you, but not know like if you really like me for sure or what.
No,
like,
no, but, like-
I'm not like, I'm just saying that like, no, when I'm not having sex, I'm not like, you couldn't tempt me to do it. Like I
Even
know
if,
when I'm
like-
doing it and I mean to do it when I do it.
Even if you guys are making out and it's hot and heavy, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like he's trying to have sex with
that's
me.
what I'm saying. But I'm not Joan though. So I'm saying that could be true with Joan. But you're asking
And
me
me?
personally. Wait, what?
I said, and me.
Wait, and you what?
Of course, like I've totally been like, no, I'm not sleeping with this person. And then all of a sudden, one thing leads to like you're making out. It's so fun.
Oh.
This person, he wants to sleep with me, and I'm also interested in sleeping with him. So I'm just like, okay,
It's
YOLO.
never- I'm telling you, I don't. Maybe your ego's not as big as mine.
I thought it was huge, but I guess apparently it's not.
No, because you probably don't look at sex like I probably. It's like I'm not. This is not a point for Natalie. This is like
very interesting. I've
this
never
is-
known this about you.
Yeah, this is like this is one of those things that's like maybe comes from just like I never ever want to wake up the next day not like that feeling to me is like it's unbearable. It's unbearable.
Yeah,
Like
it's like
it
your worst nightmare.
takes me out. Like it,
Yeah.
and like it's like some people who are like, I have a big meeting tomorrow. I can't do coke all night. Like I'm like, no, I have a life to live tomorrow that I don't want to kill
wait, but
myself.
if you
So
really
I'm
like
not
him
doing
and he-
sex all night with this guy.
But wait, if you really like him and he really likes you, you would still have that feeling in the morning if you did it?
I have to know beforehand.
That he's like
I have to
so
like
into
be
you.
sure. Like no,
this
like
is gonna
this
be
is
something.
this is like yeah. Mike, would you
Wow.
say that like
I
we
agree-
knew that day? Like this is. Would you say that's fair?
Well, what do you mean? That we were going to be dating and
Yeah.
doing stuff?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Doing
100%. Like before that. But we had like we were like what we had met in other circumstances. So like we've been hanging out for a month and a half, 2 months maybe. I don't know how long.
Right.
But so it was. I mean, I knew before we even boned. That was our whole. Is it Thursday yet? Is it
Yeah.
Thursday yet? 'Cause
That's what I mean. So when we went out that day,
But I also,
I
and I get
knew,
what you're saying.
like-
She's like, I'm not gonna pussyfoot around. Like I'm not sugarcoating shit. Like if I like you, I'm gonna be like, hey, I like you. What do you do? Let's go do stuff.
Yep.
And that's what happened. I was like, I like this girl. I'm fucking taking her out. And I knew there was some schmo hanging around. And so I was like, this isn't no. I'm like, I'm coming to get you tomorrow morning. We're having breakfast. And
was
we had
like the schmo left that night, and then I told him I'm like I got it. He left early. I got him to leave early, and then he goes, "I'll be there at like 8 a.m. or 9
I
a.m.
remember all of
something."
this
Yeah.
because I was sitting a floor up with the worst food poisoning
That's
ever.
right. Yeah.
yeah.
Just
Oh,
like
and
looking at
then
my phone, being like, "Where are you?
in
Updates?"
court,
And then you came back a day later, and you're like, "I'm in love," and you had already kissed. No,
I think we made out a little on the couch that morning.
Maybe.
Cause yeah, we
That
did.
is a
Cause we were
bold
sitting on
move,
the
a
couch.
sober morning
No.
makeout.
Cause you were looking it up. I remember we were sitting on that couch and we were looking at each other, and she's like, "You want to make out with me, don't you?" And I was like, "I don't know." And
They all do.
Yeah. And so we made out.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So
15 years
yeah,
ago.
I knew like so now you see like this is how I roll.
I
this
get
is
it.
not a one-off.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's pretty much like the same way was with my ex-husband. Like there's just people that I'm just like, oh, you get it, and that's the
And now
hardest
you get
thing
it.
ever, and now you're gonna get it. Yeah.
Been getting it ever since. Well, for a while. Anyways.
Back to Joni.
Oh yeah, Joan. Yeah. My bright red.
Well, anyway, so I do. By the way, that was a great segue into nothing, but I loved it. I do think her and Chalk stopped, and I think he's going to be the winner. But there was something else I was going to ask you.
Do you think though that because if like Joan's not a liar, so if she's entertaining the idea that there's two guys that she's not sure which one's going to be it, because like I said, by the time that we've gotten this far, I truly believe that Pascal was a strong contender.
Same.
If not neck and neck,
Same.
maybe even a little inch up just from the very recent events that put her in a tailspin.
I think in fits and starts, like she'll get overwhelmed with how exciting he was, and then yes, he would dart ahead of
Yeah.
Chalk. But I honestly think as soon as she is with Chalk, she's just like, "This is home. This is what it is."
But you think that she knows that she's going to go on this date with Pascal, and knowing that she might, you think that after she had the date with Chalk, she wasn't considering Pascal anymore? Because if she was, then she would have to be ready to tell Pascal, by the way, I boned
sex
this
with him.
dude.
No, I think she's like, I'm 61 years old. I know I said that, but in the heat of the moment, I wanted to have sex. I haven't been laid in over 3 years.
Dude, that's a ballsy woman. Joan is not ballsy. Joan is a little bit traditional.
Okay, I think that regardless of if they had sex or not, Pascal's out of the picture. I think the next episode, she's sending Guy home before they even get to the rose ceremony.
I feel like Pascal knocked her on her ass so hard that I think she like needs a minute. Like I just kind of gathered from scenes from the next that she might have to come in and be like, I can't do today. I
could see
to
that.
take a beat.
They always do that fucking bullshit though, where they're like, I just don't know if I can. I don't know if he can. Like, there's always somebody leaving, and there's always next week, the most dramatic episode you've ever seen, and somebody's crying, and both dudes are walking away, getting in the car. I can't believe that I never saw like an ending this way. And then no, nothing crazy happened. Somebody tripped on the fucking coconut, and that's why the ambulance is there, and
It's
she's
always
marrying
crazy.
fucking Chalk. Like, it's never.
All
crazy.
I'm saying is that I believe probably more than anyone in this room, and probably more than a lot of America does, that he broke her heart. He truly broke her heart.
I do think now I'm putting my vote in. I think she goes home alone.
No.
You already said Guy.
No, I did. I'm changing. That's what I thought, but now I'm voting. Official ballot in. She goes home alone because I think what my real heart says is she's not ready. She's not ready.
Whether she's ready or not, my vote is she's going home with Chalk. What do you say?
I think she's choosing Chalk. I feel like they never make it to anyone's home, really. I think that they fall
Where
out.
does she live?
I think like Maryland or something.
Yeah, maybe it was Maryland, because I remember thinking, oh, Vita, I wonder if Vita knows the Golden Bachelorette.
I think she's in Delaware and he's in like Iowa or something.
He's in Kansas
Or
City,
Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
Kansas City,
Joan's not
Kansas, or
going to
Kansas City,
Well, Kansas
Missouri?
City is where his business is, but
No,
Wichita is
Kansas
where he
City,
lives.
Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
Oh, Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Have fun cutting this 3-hour episode. So glad you added me.
He lives in Wichita, but I think his business is in Kansas City, Kansas. I don't know how far apart they
How
are.
do you know his
but
business is in Wichita?
Because I just Googled him to see I wanted to see if I could tell if he had any money. So I just Googled him.
like does he own the insurance company?
Yeah, he's the president of the insurance company. So that's why I think like if you're the president.
Yeah, Joan
like,
is okay.
I love living in California.
I love California.
And now with such a great win, just to be a proud Californian even harder than you already were.
Oh,
It's unthinkable.
that
I just want you to embrace the community.
You don't understand the community. I
Okay,
embrace
guys,
the Lakers.
we're wrapping it up because I have to go home. Wait, no. In all seriousness, I actually do. I think I do. I just want to check on him because
Yeah, dude, I'm the only one sitting here watching that thing. We're almost out of hard drive space. Foof is fucking passed out. Foof never
Avocados
passes
from
out.
Mexico.
Avocados from Mexico.
Okay. Adios. Ciao for now. Amigos. Okay, I love you guys.